You are watching the Justin TV Invitational, cast by myself, Total Biscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SHOUTcraft. I bring you the Justin TV Invitational. It's Drewbie in the blue trunks from Team Root. He is playing Terran on the Xel'Naga Caverns. He is versus his opponent, BratOK. In the yellow trunks, he is also playing Terran on the Xel'Naga Caverns. It would be a little bit weird if he's playing on a different map, but you never know. These crazy pro players could do anything to win. This tournament brought to you by Zowie, QPad, Split Reason, and Justin.tv, with brackets kindly provided by Zeke.com. Now, BratOK is, well, stomping all over Drewbie right now, if I'm totally honest with you. Amazing play by BratOK. Drewbie's been playing so well up to this point, but BratOK is on fire right now. He really, really is. It is amazing to watch. Really looking forward to it. Bear in mind that BratOK will, even if he wins this, will still have to fight through yet another game set before he goes to the grand final, because he is in the losers bracket, which means it's a little bit harder for him to get into the final. He will fight, assuming that he gets through, the loser of Soke versus Atero, who are currently in the winners bracket. So once that happens, then the result of that game will be the grand final. That's how it works in the double elimination format. That's assuming that BratOK wins it. Drewbie's still everything to play for. He can still come back from this. Admittedly, he's going to have to go through with a 3-win all-kill, but that could be, certainly could be tricky for him nonetheless. But Drewbie is a powerful player. Although I'm just not entirely sure if he can really match up to BratOK in a TVT scenario. Drewbie has won some TVTs in this tournament, in fact, but BratOK seems to have TVT down to a, well, a T, really. So it's tricky stuff. BratOK's style is patient. It's also very meticulous. His multitasking, so very good in pretty much every respect. He is able to wait until a precise opportunity to do a big, mega, huge damage to his opponent. And as it turned out right there, Drewbie was just caught completely out in the open with no deployment on his siege tanks, which I have to question that decision, rolling those siege tanks out so early, and they just got absolutely trashed because he didn't have any siege tech at all. He went for the Banshee early on, which really didn't do too much at all. You notice the BratOK was pretty much ready for that. The Banshee took out a supply depot, but really not worthwhile. Started to mass his forces in the middle, wait for a very long time, and in the meantime, BratOK had got 3 fully operational barracks. He had a secure, fast expansion that was really helping him an awful lot in terms of his economy. And then, when he finally went in, you notice the stim and the great timing as BratOK charges it in the middle of those forces, undeployed siege tanks. He suddenly realizes his opponent doesn't have the capability to deploy and hammers it home. It's excellent stuff. Double factory coming out, 1 for each, as you might imagine. Pretty standard. Pretty standard. No Reaper for BratOK this time around. Drewbie was able to respond very quickly to that Reaper. The Reaper did delay the starport by about 20 seconds, but I'm not entirely convinced that was really worthwhile. Needless to say, it did keep his opponent maybe on the back foot, so I suppose there is some justification for that. Hellion coming out for Drewbie, and I would imagine there'd be a Hellion coming out for BratOK as well, although no sign of that just yet. He's actually going straight to Tech Lab for that. Interesting stuff. He's not going for the air power. Drewbie going for his 1-1-1 build, as he called Infernal Pre-Igniters coming out for BratOK. We're looking for Hellion drops, almost certainly. BratOK loves his Hellion drops. He loves his anything drops, really. Infernal Pre-Igniter will be very powerful if Drewbie decides to go heavily into Marines, which is what Drewbie is known for doing. Lost of an SCV right there, but at least, hey, he knows there's a Hellion on the field, and he knows what he needs to do in order to respond to that. Hellion on the field for BratOK now as well. Infernal Pre-Igniter continues to research, and there's the starport. So yeah, we would expect to see Hellion drops at some point in the not-too-distant future. Economically, of course, both of our players are pretty much on par one way or the other. No expansions as of yet, and again, it's kind of an open area, a little bit risky to expand this stage in the game for Terran as far as I am concerned. I wouldn't want to do that, especially not with Hellions rolling on the field. Hellion duel! Oh god, reinforcements! BratOK, leave BratOK, run for it! Oh hey, BratOK brings some Marines in as well, almost takes out that particular Hellion as well. Needs to do a little bit of a turnaround right there, might be able to grab him all the way back in. No real damage being done right there, nothing that can't be fixed up by a medevac. Medevac already on the field right now for BratOK, nothing for Drewbie as of yet. Unit count looking, there we go, Tech Lab coming in, so Banshee's a possibility, Raven a possibility as well. That's interesting stuff, honestly. The Banshees didn't work out so well for him last time, but bear in mind, if it's mostly a Hellion force from BratOK, then Banshees should be okay. I need to stop saying okay when one of the guys playing this game is BratOK, but there you go. BratOK with his expansion coming up right here. 3 Hellions rolling out, Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade available. Most of the troops on the ground are indeed Marines. Bear in mind that, as I said before, actually I said this in the previous tournament, Hellions are a great counter to Hellions, as it turns out, when you have Infernal Pre-Igniter, because of course Hellions are light units, so that Infernal Pre-Igniter will do a ton of damage, way more. In a Hellion duel, he will of course win. Drewbie with his own Hellion drop on the way. It'll take him a little bit of time to get there. Is there any vulnerability to the Hellion drop? Certainly there's a big potential for it. I have to wonder if Drewbie will be forced to turn back, because this aggressive force coming in right here from BratOK gets in there straight away. Will he be able to stop those Marines from getting in there? Infernal Pre-Igniter, huge amount of damage done into the bunker. Oh, yes! He takes the bunker, only just though. Incredible timing there by BratOK. GG, what a annihilation. BratOK proving amazing superiority right there. Drewbie falls out entirely, 3-0 in BratOK's favor. Jesus Christ, it is great stuff from BratOK, and looking unbelievably dominant in this tournament. Drewbie knocked out sadly after some great wins. Congratulations to him for even getting this far, especially beating amazing players like Hydra. And we'll be back in just a few short moments with the winners bracket, folks. Don't go anywhere. The fun has just got started.